Championship excitement is in the air as Salmon's Channel 3 comes to Giants Stadium for the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 championship game. It's the Knights of West Essex against the Golden Eagles of Morris Knolls. Hello everyone, I'm Steve Tober along with Art Polakowski. And Art, we're back at Giants Stadium where we haven't been for 13 years for championships in the high school football scene. And West Essex and Morris Knolls, two teams that have been here before in the turf of Giants Stadium.
Two teams that were here the next to last year that they had been played before in 1980. Format a little different now. Teams just took the field for the first time 10 minutes before kickoff. They have a bubble to practice in off on the side now. Neither team has been on the field before the game, which I don't know if it's a factor or not, but neither have been able to practice on the actual facilities they're playing at because of the way the structure is within this playoff weekend where you have one game on top of another.
Now, Morris Knolls has played both at East Orange and Livingston on the AstroTurf this season. West Essex has not played a game on the turf, yet they've practiced twice at Livingston and once here at Giants Stadium this week. So both teams feel that they're turf-oriented. It's going to be interesting to see which ground game takes effect here tonight.
You know, Morris Knolls more of the big play team, and normally you would say that would be the advantage as far as turf is concerned, but it seems the reports we got is that West Essex may have spent a little more time on the turf this week than Morris Knolls has. So whether that turns out to be a factor in the equation or not, we'll find out.
Both Morris Knolls and West Essex, 8-2 teams. Morris Knolls under Bill Regan in his 20th season. West Essex under Ron Anello in his 8th. Now, West Essex comes out of the wing tee art. The Houston Veer, though, used by Morris Knolls, a very unusual offense. Ron Anello told me he's a little concerned about going against the Veer.
Yeah, well, Knolls, we saw Knolls. We did a telecast of the Knolls-Randolph game, and Mike Talmadge, he runs the Veer very well, and Cervona's an outstanding running back. He's as good a running back as we've seen this year, at least as good as I've seen. And they're dangerous not only because how well they execute the attack, but also because of the athletes that they have back there to do it. And, yeah, it's a problem. It can be a problem, and the idea is to take advantage against a larger team. We know that Morris Knolls is the larger school, but West Essex certainly the larger football team out here tonight.
West Essex averages 212 pounds across the front yard. Morris Knolls about 179 per person. West Essex will move behind their big fullback, Brian Griffel. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards. Morris Knolls behind Chris Cervona and Dave Benfatti, their two halfbacks. Well, we'll see which team gets the ball control. 8-2 West Essex, 8-2 Morris Knolls. We set the stage. We'll be back with the opening kickoff right after this.
Strong. To win, you've got to be smart. Maybe you can be one of us, the few, the proud, the Marines.
And back at Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Steve Tober, Art Polakowski getting set for the kickoff of the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 championship game. And Art, the Golden Eagles of Morris Knolls have been to the Group 3 finals for 3 consecutive years, their 5th appearance in a Final 2 in Group 4. West Essex has not been in this position since 1980 when they defeated Belleville to finish 10-1 and finish as a #1 team in the Star Ledger in the state of New Jersey.
West Essex has won one, though, and that's one more than Morris Knolls has won.
That's right.
So they've had a little more success when they reached this level, but certainly the Golden Eagles have been here a number of times, and this is about the first time, I think, that they've ever come into a title game as the favorite in most people's minds.
They were the top seed coming in. They beat Shabazz 21-7, a third seed that traveled up. I'm sorry, the second seed, Morris Knolls, was Scotch Plains was the top seed and lost at home to West Essex 28-14. And so second seeded Morris Knolls and fourth seeded West Essex were getting set for the kickoff. Tim DiLorenzo for West Essex with the white jerseys, red pants. Morris Knolls with the green jerseys and gold pants, the Golden Eagles, as we get set for the kickoff here of the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 final on Salmon's Channel 3. Chris Cervona, Rebels, and Talmadge deep for Knolls. It's Talmadge at the 16. Talmadge across the near sideline, taken out of bounds at the 31-yard line, where Morris Knolls will take over 1st and 10. Let's set the Morris Knolls offense. Up front, Darren Brucio is the center. Chris Kunkel, Brian McDonald, the guards. Mike Soljanowski, Tim Voorhees, the tackles. The two ends are Bob Grisano and Pete Cannon. The wide receiver, Walter Mold. In the backfield, Mike Talmadge, the quarterback, and he's flanked by the two halfbacks, Dave Benfatti and Chris Cervona. And Morris Knolls comes out 1st and 10 against the 52 defense of West Essex. Mike Talmadge, the quarterback, with the pitch. Benfatti with some great running room across the 40. Looks like a first down for Morris Knolls. And right on first down, Art, Morris Knolls showing great precision. Let's set the West Essex defense in the 52 alignment up front. Tim Catazano is the nose guard. The tackles are Eric Lem and Brendan Johnston. The ends are Mike Cesare and Scott DiLorenzo. The two inside linebackers, Brian Griffel and Mario D'Angelo. And the secondary, Anthony Gareffa and Chris Cardella are the cornerbacks. Mark Keenan is the monster back, and Darren DeFazio is the free safety.
And right away, they're out of the 50, Steve, and into the 4-4 to defend that veer.
Again, off tackle on first down. Cervona carrying for a gain of 5. Call it 4 yards, 2nd and 6 at their own 46 of Morris Knolls. Just underway, first period, 11:19 to go. West Essex, Morris Knolls, Steve Tober, Art Polakowski on a gorgeous night here at Giants Stadium. Walter Mold wide left on 2nd and 6. The pitch to Cervona, and Cervona close to another first down. Coming up from his tackle position for West Essex was Richie LaMonica, who was in a quick insertion there for the Knights, did not start the game. West Essex very big in the trenches. Lem at 245, one tackle. Johnston 230, the other tackle. There's another first down in West Essex territory at the 49 of the Knights. And Morris Knolls is moving the ball right off the bat. West Essex changing their alignment with 4 men up front. Benfatti gets the call, and he's stopped up. Cesare and D'Angelo across making the hit. Art, with West Essex mixing up their defense, they usually run out of the 52. Here we see a 4-man front adjusting to the veer.
They haven't put anybody over the nose of the football yet, Steve. On first play, Catanzano was in the gap on the side that Knolls didn't run to. And they decided rather than doing that, they're showing them a balanced look with the veer with the 4 linebackers and the outside backers. Well,
Talmadge picking up 6 yards down to the 41-yard line to set up a 3rd and 2.
I just started to say the outside backer to have responsibility to stop that from happening, but he got sucked inside on the play, and Talmadge took it around him.
Call it 3rd and 3 as they mark it closer to the 42-yard line. Obviously, Ron and Anello are thinking they have to do something against that veer in terms of off tackle. They think maybe taking 1 man off could help.
I think they're worried more about the wide stuff, Steve. I think they're really spread wide for it. Look how wide. Look at the defensive split between the tackles.
The pitch to Cervona. He's got the first down. He's out of bounds at the 37-yard line. The 3rd first down of this initial drive of the game for Morris Knolls. 9:31 to go in the first quarter. We're back at Giants Stadium. They haven't been here since 1981 when Elizabeth beat Union in the Group 4 final. West Essex defeated Belleville in 1980 Group 4 final, a year where Morris Knolls was in the semifinals and lost to Belleville. 1st and 10. Golden Eagles, they're the team taking the upper hand off the bat in terms of ball control. Mike Talmadge under his center, Darren Bruzio. The late pitch to Benfatti. Pickup of about 4. Be 2nd and 6. Looking at our refereeing crew this evening, Lou Nazaro is the head referee, Jim Ritchie the umpire. The head linesman is Larry Pierce. Pete DeFranco the field judge. The back judge is L. Scanlapore. Jerry Belmonte Jr. and Sr. running the chain crew along with Alan Attaway. 2nd and 6. Cervona picks up 3 down to the 30-yard line to set up a 3rd and 2 situation.
Morris Knolls had run every play to the right side except that one, and that one they ran straight up the middle. They want to work behind right guard Chris Kunkel, right tackle Tim Voorhees, and it's working pretty well so far. And also tight end Brian Grassano is getting the block on the corner.
3rd and 2 for the Golden Eagles. The pitch to Cervona. He's got the first down and more. He's down across the 20. He's out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Another first down for Morris Knolls. It'll be 1st and 10 at the West Essex 18-yard line.
We don't know the defensive responsibilities against this option, Steve, but I don't understand where the outside linebacker is. He's deep enough to avoid the initial blocks. He's got to come up and force that play. He's got to at least turn that play inside, and he hasn't been doing that yet.
The 4th first down of this drive, this opening drive for Morris Knolls. Cervona down to the 15-yard line for a pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Tim Catanzano, the nose guard, helping out in that tackle along with Brendan Johnston for West Essex. Richie LaMonica, who's in for West Essex, are not a starter. A sophomore, has seen some time, number 72. So Ron Anello making a few personnel adjustments early on. Fumble, ball loose. Banfatti falls on it. A loss of a couple yards. It'll be 3rd and 10. Ball moves back to the 18-yard line. That time Talmadge a little errant with the pitch.
That's the double-edged sword of the veer option. I mean, it is a high-risk offense. That's why you're going to score in big plays. You're probably not going to drive it down in an 18, 19 play drive because you're probably going to make a mistake in that injury.
3rd and 10. Cervona bowls his way off tackle down to the 13-yard line. It'll be 4th down and about 6. Now, Corey Weiner is the regular place kicker. Would you bring him in here for a field goal attempt? It looks like they will, Art.
Yeah, you'd like to get some points out of this drive. This is a real strong emotional start for Morris Knolls. Except for the play where they dropped the football, they've pretty much handled a bigger West Essex team along the line of scrimmage. I would think you'd like to get some points out of this. I would think if you have a reliable kicker who can knock one through from 31 yards away, I would take it right here. This is a tough angle for a right-handed kicker here, though. A right-handed kicker, a right-footed kicker.
And West Essex has called timeout.
Is Weiner a left footer? I'm trying to remember.
Weiner is a left footer.
Okay, so it's a better angle then.
The ball placed at the 14-yard line, 4th and 6. So the snap will,
it's going to be a 31-yard
attempt.
But it's probably from the right to left angle that he'd like as a left footer.
Giant Stadium, known for its wind factor. The Giants have been accused sometimes of using the wind to their advantage in NFL games.
Not tonight, though. We've got a wonderful night for December 2nd. I mean, who could have imagined in December? Hey, tomorrow it's supposed to be 60. Sunday it's supposed to be 60. Nobody would have figured to get this nice a night for December 2.
Absolutely not. And
you know, the flags, there's some crepe paper hanging from the goalposts here, and they're not moving at all. There's no wind at all.
Art, they decided not to go for the field goal after the timeout. They did not take my
advice. They're going for it.
And Talmadge is back to pass on 4th down. He goes, he completes to Weiner at the 6-yard line. That should be a first down for the Golden Eagles. So they gamble on 4th and 6 and they convert.
And that's why Regan's been coaching this club for the last 20 years, and that's why we're sitting up here. I would have taken the field goal. It almost looked as if West Essex, by taking the timeout, gave the Morris Knolls staff more time to think about it, and they decided to go for it.
The completion from Talmadge to Weiner for 9 yards. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line for the Golden Eagles. 6:55 to go, first quarter. Opening drive for Morris Knolls. Talmadge keeps, and Talmadge rolls right down by the goal line. They'll probably down it around the 1. Talmadge on the keeper, and we saw against Randolph, Talmadge a very capable ball carrier.
Oh, yeah, I was watching on that play, Steve, the right tackle, Tim Voorhees, and he took the big West Essex defensive tackle, Johnston, the 6'3", 230-pounder, who you said is considered their best defensive lineman, and he knocked them back about 6 yards on that play. And they've been running that side. They've been getting great blocks, particularly the tackle at the end from Voorhees and Grisano.
And on 2nd and goal, Talmadge sneaks it in for the touchdown, and the Morris Knolls Golden Eagles are up 6-0 with 6:14 to go in the opening period. That was a patented Morris Knolls drive, Art. They got 5 first downs on that drive.
And boy, they think they can run that right side, don't they?
They really did. They really did a number on that left side of the defensive line for West Essex facing the ball, and blocking very well off the right side was Morris Knolls, and Mike Talmadge takes it over from 1 yard out. Corey Weiner will attempt the extra point. Talmadge will hold. The lefty Weiner puts his foot into it, and it's good. Morris Knolls leads 7-0. And this is something Ron Anello and his West Essex staff feared coming in. They did not want Morris Knolls to get off to a quick start and play ball control, and they've used up half of the opening period and done just that.
I don't know if I agree with that, Steve. I don't think they thought that Morris Knolls could dominate the line of scrimmage in that. I think they feared breaking something off the veer, you know.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Running the option, Talmadge pitching it to Cervona, and Cervona popping it because he's a great running
Well, that's
back.
I think they're more. I don't think they're expecting a sustained drive where the line occupies, where the line dominates like Morris Knolls did. I mean, West Essex, if anything, thinks they can sustain a drive. Morris Knolls is, as we've seen, is capable of a game-breaking play. Cervona could break it off anytime for 50, 60 yards. Cervona, the fine halfback who came with 500 yards in his last 2 games. This time they really mixed it up. It was Ben Faddy, Talmadge, and Cervona. We saw
Not
that.
the direction, though. Everything was at the same.
Everything to the right side.
Pointed to the right. It was based on Voorhees blocking the tackle, Grisano blocking the end there.
And this, Chris Kunkel.
In a 4-4 set that West Essex is not accustomed to playing.
Exactly.
Now, how do you adjust now? You put in a 4-4 for this game. Now, do you adjust and you go back to your normal stuff? Or do you try to stay with the 4-4 and fix it? Because it sure didn't work too well on the opening drive.
R.C. Renshaw, Tim DiLorenzo, Darren DeFazio deep for Corey Weiner's kick. It'll be Renshaw at the 17. The short one, Renshaw, he finds some running room. R.C. Renshaw is across midfield. He's down to the 43-yard line of Morris Knolls. Great field position for West Essex. Let's check the West Essex starting offense. Up front, Victor Arulis is the center, John Sesta, Chris LaForgia the guards, Eric Lemon, Mike Cicero the tackles, the 2 ends, Ricky Craw on the left side, Scott DiLorenzo on the right side. Brian Griffel is the fullback, Tim DiLorenzo, Darren DeFazio the halfbacks, and the quarterback, Nicky Luciano. West Essex out of the wing tee, but with DiLorenzo in the slot. The handoff goes to DeFazio, who picks up 9 yards on the play inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. 9-yard pickup. Let's check the Morris Knolls defense up front. In the wide tackle 6, Darren Brusio, Ryan Margada are the guards. Mike Siljanowski, Tim Voorhees the tackles. Dave Benfatti, Brian Grisano are the ends. The linebackers, Chris Kunkel and Chris Cervona. In the secondary, Mike Talmadge and Chris Rebels, the cornerbacks. Corey Weiner is the safety. DiLorenzo in motion. He gets the handoff. He's got the first down. He's down to the 29-yard line. And West Essex moving the ball much like the opposition and taking advantage of this great field position, have their first down of the evening.
Yeah, they've knocked Morris Knolls off the ball on their first 2 plays here, Steve. And, you know, they're kind of little payback here, doing the same thing Morris Knolls did to them.
And showing a little misdirection there with DiLorenzo from the right halfback spot coming across, much like we might see in New Providence and classic wing T teams. Griffel, the burly fullback, for about a yard. He's stopped up.
The thing that makes West Essex's wing tee a little bit unique, I would say unique, but normally the wing tee features a tailback, and their wing tee certainly this year features a fullback with Brian Griffel running for over 1,000 yards. They're more of a power team, but I think that's symbolic of what they can do up front, that they're a power team along the line of scrimmage, and they blast people out in the fullback series.
Griffel with 1,009 yards coming in. DeFazio finds running room. He's down to the 12-yard line. Finally brought down by Darren Brusio. Another first down for the Knights at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, he got some of that on his own, Steve. He made a couple people miss in the backfield. Grisano had a shot at him, missed him. Cervona had a shot at him, missed him. Those are 2 pretty good defensive players who missed him.
You got to be impressed for West Essex. They're showing their resiliency in the early going. Morris Knolls had marched down, took a 7-0 lead on Mike Talmadge's quarterback sneak from 1 yard out. Here with 4 minutes to go in the opening period, West Essex knocking on the door.
And DeFazio is supposed to only be their 3rd best back, right?
And it's DeFazio again, out of bounds, right around the 10-yard line. Pickup of a yard. Yes, DeFazio comes in with 394 yards rushing and 6 touchdowns. Had a big day against Dover in a game I saw earlier in the season where he scored 2 touchdowns and rushed for 90 yards, but he is generally considered their third ball carrier behind Griffel, who has 1,009 yards, and Tim DiLorenzo, who has 551 yards coming in.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but both Griffel and DiLorenzo missed the Thanksgiving Day game with minor injuries. They sat him down.
They sat him. Mario D'Angelo, Robert Ricafort saw some playing time there. Up the middle, Griffel gets down to the 5-yard line for a pickup of 5. It'll set up a 3rd down situation and 3. Griffel, the big fullback, the tank they call him, baseball catcher, set a second best single game record at West Essex with 278 yards against Hanover Park in the season opener. DiLorenzo has 2 field goals on the season, 27 extra points on a 4th and 4 situation. That time the Morris Knolls defense are coming up big.
Yeah, and you know what surprised me? They did not go into a classic goal line alignment then, and yet they still stopped the play after getting pushed around a little bit.
A 22-yard field goal for DiLorenzo. The ball is blocked. Chris Cervona was off quickly there along with Corey Weiner up front, and Morris Knolls holds as West Essex is stopped on 4th down on the field goal attempt. And we'll see how West Essex reacts after that, driving from the West Essex 43 down to the 10-yard line and trying to get in the field goal attempt by DiLorenzo, but right across quickly was Cervona and Weiner and company for Morris Knolls, who takes back over at their 8-yard line. Cervona with a toss. Chris Cervona's got a 1st down. He's out to the 21-yard line. Again, West Essex secondary having to come up and help out on the tackle. Anthony Gareffa up there along with Mario D'Angelo, one of the inside backers on the tackle for WE. 2:05 to go opening period, 7-0 Morris Knolls.
West Essex lined up in the 5 on the first play again, but now they're back in that 4-4 again. And Morris Knolls again attacking the right side, or at least showing deception to the right side and attacking the middle.
Cervona picking up a couple of yards, set up a 2nd and 8. Eric Lamacross making the tackle from his right defensive tackle position. Morris Knolls with 6 first downs already. They had 5 in their opening drive when they drove down. Scored on Mike Talmadge's 1-yard sneak with 6:14 to go. We're down to 1:23 to go in the opening period. Morris Knolls looking for their first playoff championship. They've been to 5 finals. Walter Mold in motion. Talmadge audibly in. Either a timeout.
No, I think he got a flag.
There was a flag for delay of game. I was looking for the flag. Will be a delay of game against Morris Knolls. Took too much time.
He must have thought he saw something and wanted to check off to it, but he didn't do it quick enough. We're talking about Talmadge here.
The 2nd and 12. Cannon in motion. Morris Knolls from their own 19-yard line. Talmadge with a pitch. Cervona finds running room. He's across the 30, out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Another 1st down for the Golden Eagles.
He read that fake. He took that fake very well. He sold the West Essex defense in converging on the other back going through and pitched it to Cervona. And that's the first time they've run the left side yet, but they showed they can do business on both sides of the field.
We've seen a lot of versatility here in the early going from Morris Knolls, and they completed an awfully big pass on the one pass they did throw to Corey Weiner to set up their first touchdown on a 4th down and 6 situation. The pitch to Cervona. Running behind Tim Voorhees, who throws a great block. And Cervona has another first down. What a block, Voorhees, the right tackle through there, Art.
He's thrown a few of them today, but I don't know. West Essex had enough people there to string it out, and it was like a few of them thought they were pursuing the play, and they were waiting for him to juke him or something. You got to string that all the way out and take it to the sidelines.
He's a half a yard short of the first down, a pickup of 9 at the 45-yard line. This will be 2nd and 1. 53 seconds to go in the fast-moving opening period here at Giant Stadium. Cervona, Benfatti into West Essex territory, down. They're going to mark the ball at the 36-yard line. Another first down. The combination of Cervona, number 32, and Benfatti, number 33, both with equal effectiveness. Benfatti, just a sophomore, 5'11", 155, the younger brother of Lou Benfatti of the New York Jets. Defensive lineman out of Penn State. Dave certainly not with the size of his brother, but certainly the football talent. Talmadge with a pitch to Cervona. Cervona cuts back beautifully against the grain, loses the ball, but out of bounds. Another first down around the 20-yard line. And Morris Knolls moving the ball at will here.
Once again, we saw a classic veer option play where Talmadge read the defense, saw it converge inside on Benfatti, pitched it out to Cervona, and they picked up about 12 yards on the play.
First down at the 20-yard line with that 12-yard pickup. Morris Knolls has been unstoppable here in the early going. Cervona picks up 4 down to the 16.
Even on a play that were 5 guys on him on the line of scrimmage, he pushed it forward for 3 or 4 yards. I would say the momentum is on Morris Knolls' side of the field right now.
Eric Lem and Richie LaMonica in for the tackle for West Essex. 2nd and 6. We're down to 1 second, and that is the end of the first period. Morris Knolls on the Mike Talmadge 1-yard touchdown run have taken a 7-0 lead. We'll be back with more right after this. And back at Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Steve Tober, Art Polakowski getting set for the start of the second quarter of this North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 championship game. Morris Knolls on the move. They went from their own 8-yard line, Art. They're down to the 6-17 of West Essex with a 2nd and 6 situation. And Morris Knolls has just been moving the football with precision.
West Essex hasn't shown any signs of stopping them yet. And unless something changes real fast, this game is it certainly looks like it's going in the Eagles' direction.
Cervona up the middle. Down to the 13-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3. Eric Lem and Brendan Johnston in helping on that tackle for the Knights. Morris Knolls 8-2 on the season. They've lost to East Orange and Randolph. West Essex also 8-2 with losses to Mendham and St. Joseph's of Montville.
Both Morris Knolls losses, though, as we know, by 1 point. Nobody's beaten them by more than a point yet.
Chris Cervona heading for the end zone. Touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run for Chris Cervona. And Morris Knolls leads 13-0.
He made that look pretty easy. I mean, it was a great break of a tackle at the line of scrimmage, but after that, there was no support from the linebackers of the secondary there at all from the 10-yard line. You wonder where those people were.
Where were the linebackers of WE on that one? Cervona on a play which appeared to take a little while to develop. Weiner with the extra point, Talmadge to hold. The left-footed Weiner has the kick deflected, goes short, so Morris Knolls maintains its 13-0 lead here with 11:22 to go in the second period.
Looked like Justin Klenman got in and got a piece of that one, Steve. Number 16 for West Essex.
West Essex A proud tradition going back to the days of Steve Tafaro and Fred Keel, Bill Rocca, who coached the team here in 1980, which defeated Belleville. Jimmy Sullivan was their fine back at that time. Chris Chapuka was a receiver, famous Bloomfield family. That was quite a festive evening. I remember it was a Sunday night game. And it was a little darker in here, Art, as we were talking before. It seems like the lights have been turned up for this year's
absolutely.
event.
Well, we know that because when they played back here in 78, 79, 80, 81, for some reason, they did not want to use full candle power. Well, the reason I think was economics. The state wasn't paying for full candle power, and the Giant Stadium people didn't want to turn it on. And this is a much nicer way to watch a football game, watching it played under the full lighting capacity of Giant Stadium as it was meant to be played. That was one place where they tried to scrimp and save back 15 years ago, and it made no sense at all. It made no sense at all. I mean, it took something away from the game. Now at least they've got the lights turned on at full blast.
Weiner kicks off. He goes short. Napolitano tries to pick up and falls on the football at his own 22-yard line. Not a great piece of work on the receiving end for West Essex, but they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 22. Wessex had much better position on their opening drive from the Morris Knolls 43-yard line. A Tim DiLorenzo field goal attempt was blocked as West Essex drove down the field to the 10-yard line, unable to score, and Morris Knolls responds. Marches 92 yards, capped by a 13-yard Chris Cervona run. Nicky Luciano to DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo for 4. Brucio, along with Kunkel, in on the tackle for Morris Knolls. And West Essex are not your classic come-from-behind team, but either is Morris Knolls. Wing T offense is not fomented for that type of comeback effort. They're not a team that likes to go to the air that often. Nicky Luciano, 28 of 72, only 38% passing, 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
I was thinking the same thing, Steve. You got a 2-touchdown lead on these guys. You got to be feeling pretty good right now.
The tank Griffel picks up 2 out to the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 3.
On the other hand, though, realize it, I don't know if you do, but Morris Knolls does not have a shutout this year. And I think it's kind of unusual for a team to be playing in a state championship game. A team has played 10 games and obviously has a great record to be here. And to not have a shutout. So apparently during the course of at least every game, at least once, they're giving up something. Now some of those could have been against, against reserves or something like that. But it is unusual for an 8-2 team not to have a shutout.
3rd and 3. DeFazio gets the first down. He's out to the 38-yard line. So a nice run for the junior halfback, Darren DeFazio, and a first down for the West Essex Knights. Well, you look at the records of Morris Knolls, Art. They have had 4 games where they've given up only a touchdown. They beat Weequahic 34-6, Seton Hall 28-7, Roxbury 40-7, and Shabazz in the first round of the playoffs 21-7. So they've been close where they've given up touchdowns, single touchdowns in 4 of their 8 victories.
Oh, they're a fine defensive team, but generally you expect to see a team, an 8-2 team, have a shutout in 10 games.
Absolutely.
Knolls does it, and I think it's kind of the defense they play. I think they're prone to maybe giving up a big play once in a while, and also maybe getting pushed around a little bit because they're not the biggest guys around, but they come back and make up for it on the offensive end. As a team that scored 312 points this year.
DiLorenzo picked up just 1 yard on that first down at the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 9. This Morris Knolls went up against a big Shabazz team, a big and slow Shabazz team, and beat them 21-7 in the first round of the playoffs. Whistle, probably movement. We'll wait for the call from the official. Might have been movement on the right side of the line for West Essex. Of course, a full weekend of action here at Giant Stadium. I guess the feature game they're talking about on Saturday afternoon. Bergen Catholic, the #1 team in New Jersey, the #5 team in USA Today, going up against St. Peter's Prep of Jersey City, 2 undefeated teams. It is motion against West Essex. Set up a 2nd now and 14 back at the 34-yard line.
And with the West Essex offense, this could be a drive killer because, they need that 4 yards, 5 yards in a cloud of dust type attack, and getting put 2nd and 13, that's not so good for them.
R.C. Renshaw is wide right on 2nd and 13, inside handoff to DeFazio. who squirts his way up to the 39-yard line. For a pickup of 4, it'll be 3rd and 8. West Essex, which had Jim Benedict as a coach in 1986 before the arrival of Ron Anello.
And before the arrival of the single wing with Jim Benedict, yes.
Before, yes. Jim Benedict, of course, went on to Summit, now Westfield. Big 3rd down. Again, whistles. Might have had movement. The Knights can ill afford this on a 3rd and 8 situation. Morris Knolls, much like Randolph, are very disciplined, doesn't make very many mistakes. It's usually the other team that has the penalties. Again, it's procedure against West Essex.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're obviously one of the better coached teams in New Jersey, and they have been for the last 2 decades.
You're watching state championship action on Salmon's Channel 3. Steve Tober, Art Polakowski from Giants Stadium. North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 final. West Essex on 3rd and 13. A pass intended for DiLorenzo, overthrown. That time Luciano a little too much on it.
Yeah, plus he threw the ball like 10 yards short of the first down marker anyway. I mean, if you're going to throw that pass, he wasn't going to break it. It wasn't like a screen or a deceptive type play. There were guys coming up on him. And, once again, I think this is a little confidence builder for Morris Knolls, because even on 3rd and long, they can't even throw the ball to the first down marker.
And Gabe Ballard on to punt for the Knights. He averages 32 yards a kick. Corey Weiner, the single deep man. Corey fields it at his 32, and he's immediately brought down. Great coverage by West Essex. Victor Rulis, the center, was down there to finish off that play, along with Chris LaForgia.
Still, as we know from having seen games before here, Steve, the importance of catching punts. I don't care if the punt returner doesn't gain an inch after he catches it. The idea you got to catch it, because if you don't catch it, the ball could bounce 20 yards on you. So the key thing for Corey Weiner and everyone who's returning, just catch the ball. Don't worry about the returns.
Absolutely, Artie. And it's so much concentration involved. You can really make a difference from losing 10, 15 yards on a return by just catching the football. Talmadge on 1st down. He fumbles the football. West Essex has recovered. Chris Cardella with the recovery. A big turnover. And West Essex will have to take advantage, down 13-0 here with 7:22 to go in the second period. They'll have 1st and 10 at the Morris Knolls 37-yard line.
That's the high-risk offense, and Morris Knolls is going to run that high-risk offense whether they're up by 2 touchdowns or down by 2 touchdowns. And West Essex now has the break, and this could be the biggest series of the football game.
Luciano to pass long, looking for Renshaw, overthrows him. Weiner defending along with Rebels.
You said Luciano's only thrown 72 passes,
28 of 72 coming in.
He averages 7 passes a game.
Only 38%, 416 yards, 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
It's the number of attempts, though, that I think is striking. We're talking 7 passes a game, unless there's somebody else playing quarterback some of the time. You would know that better than I.
Now, the game against Dover, I saw he completed a very big pass against Scott DiLorenzo for a huge 1st down. It's DeFazio carrying. Darren DeFazio down to the 30-yard line for a pickup of 7. The wing T showing some proficiency here after.
DeFazio looks like a very effective ball carrier out there, Steve, and the fact that they featured him so far, I'm wondering if the other 2 kids are 100%. We know they didn't play in the most recent game, and maybe DeFazio, it's necessary to feature him tonight. Maybe West Essex, I'm not trying to find excuses for them, but maybe not all their people are at total capacity tonight.
When they played some physical teams such as Mendham and St. Joe's this year. Luciano
is a flag thrown in the middle of the pile where the fake was.
Now, yeah, the fake went to Griffel, and Luciano carries. There's a flag that probably is going to be holding, but wait and see.
No, you'd have to hold. Why would you hold, though? That's only for the fake.
That's what it is. It is holding against the Knights, which is 10 yards from the point of the infraction.
Oh, that's a terrible
So instead of being a 4th and inches, or really a 4th and 1, it'll be moved back.
That's a killer.
It'll be 3rd, and we'll see where they mark the football. In high school football, it's 10 yards from the point of the infraction for holding.
Oh, that's a killer penalty. Having one of your guys hold where the play isn't even going.
On a simple wing T play, the fake, the belly, the fullback dive, The play fake, the quarterback rolls out, picks up a couple of yards, so would have set up a 4th and 1 situation. Instead, the ball moves back to the 39-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 12. Instead of being at the 27.5-yard line, they're back to the 39. A big 3rd and 12 situation for the West Essex Knights. 6:08 to go, second period, 13-0. Morris Knolls in the lead. Luciano, a little short pass to DeFazio, out of bounds, only a yard pickup. It'll be 4th and 11.
If they want to do that on 3rd and 12, I think Morris Knolls would allow them to do that every time.
It's a little dump pass to the near sideline. Not much happening. And they're sending in Ballard to punt here on 4th down. Ballard standing just inside his own territory. Weiner stepping back to his own 7.
This is the case where you probably don't want to catch the punt because it's going to get to the end zone.
And a good kick by Ballard.
No, it's not.
Beautifully placed
Nice
by
pitch.
Gabe Ballard and down by DiLorenzo at the 6-yard line. So in terms of field position, West Essex comes out on top there for the
nice
punting game.
Yes, very nice aim punt, pooch punt to get the ball to the 6-yard line and force the high-risk offense to operate from the 6-yard line.
So West Essex, with the fumble recovery by Cardella at the Knolls 37, cannot score, but they do regain some nice field position here, down 13-0 with 5:47 to go in the second period. Giants Stadium, one of the state-of-the-art buildings for NFL football, and here hosting high school football for the first time in 13 years. Cervona on 1st down.
Well, that was not your classic veer option play. That was a simple fullback dive. They handled a little less than they would do on a normal play, and they just want to get it out of that territory. And you can understand why Coach Regan would make that call under those circumstances. I wouldn't be surprised to see it again.
Cervona picked up 3. The 2nd and 7 at the 10-yard line. Clock moving, 5 minutes to go, second period. Cervona again dives out to the 15. Gain of 4 will be 3rd and 1. Want to thank Venerini's Deli in Booton. They don't just make sandwiches, they build them. One of the supporters here on Salmons, Channel 3. He's playing great sandwiches for us. And I know Art enjoyed his roast beef sub tonight.
As always, it was terrific,
I had
as it always is from Venerini's.
Venerini's and Booton. I had a turkey and Swiss. It was quite scrumptious. 3rd and 1 from the 15. 4:15 to go. Cervona, he's got the 1st down. Cervona out to the 17-yard line.
Steve, after that second Morris Knolls touchdown, I was watching their sidelines, and one of their coaches was really all over the outside linebacker, Scott DiLorenzo. And if you look at the scheme they're using tonight, as opposed to their conventional scheme, it's Scott DiLorenzo who's playing a completely different position. He's normally the right defensive end. They've got him playing the outside backer in the 4-4, and he's been on the left side almost every time. And I think they feel that he is not doing exactly what they wanted him to do in this new scheme. And I've been watching him this series, and to see if there's any difference in the way he's playing things. And the bottom line is you can't tell because they're running much more of a 5-man front now, but still running DiLorenzo as the outside backer on the left.
That time, Cervona picked up maybe a yard with D'Angelo making a tackle to 19. They are moving more people up front, Art.
They've been in a 5 almost every time here. But again, not with the nose guard offset, always to the left, to the offensive left, defensive right, not the side that Knolls has been going to.
That's Catanzano, who's the regular nose guard, moving in the gap. Really 6 men.
Now they move DiLorenzo up to the line and played it as a 6.
Talmadge throwing for Weiner. It's intercepted at the 49-yard line.
Great play out there by Gareffa.
Anthony Gareffa, the right cornerback.
Terrific play.
Good interception. And West Essex will take over with 2:59 to go, trailing 13-0.
But is 2:59 enough time with their offense?
That we'll have to wait and see. Luciano has not had much luck throwing the football. On 1st and 10, DeFazio cuts back for a gain of 4. Cervona in on the tackle. Garefa with his 4th interception of the season. A beautiful play defending against Weiner. 2nd and 6 of the 47 of Morris Knolls. West Essex, the 4th seed, surprising some by going down to Scotch Plains and winning 28-14 in the playoff opener. Luciano over the middle completes. Down to the 36-yard line.
Well, he connected for a big pass there, Steve, that's for sure.
Di Lorenzo on the receiving end. 1st and 10 at the 36. Time a factor, 1:57 to go in the first half. 13-0 Morris Knolls. DeFazio down to the 30-yard line, pickup of 6. Chris Rebels coming up to help make the tackle.
They have 2 timeouts. I can't understand. I mean, these are slow developing plays here. I mean, when you got to take a timeout at some point, don't you?
1:27 to go. Clock still moving.
And why not take it when your ball's on the other side of the field? You got to get the messenger in there. It's a running play. I mean, you're not going to save more seconds than you are on that one.
2nd and 4. Di Lorenzo in motion. Luciano to throw. Intended for DeFazio. Couldn't hold on. That does stop the clock with 1:10 to go. It'll be 3rd and 4 at the Morris Knolls 30-yard line. Morris Knolls scored their first TD, and Mike Talmadge 1-yard sneak with 6:14 to go in the opening period. Corey Weiner's extra point, 7-0. And Chris Cervona capping a 92-yard drive with a 13-yard run. The extra point failed, 13-0. That was early in the second period. That's where our score is now with 1:10 to go. Big 3rd down. Luciano completes. Renshaw, a 1st down at the 25-yard line. Clock stops, 1:04 to go. That's a pretty good play.
That was a real nice square out. Everything was tight. It was a 2 tight end alignment. Renshaw was the only wide person. He just went to the 1st down marker, and Luciano put it there.
Clock, importantly for West Essex, stopped at 1:04.
And they do have to, I'm almost certain they have 2 timeouts left.
Luciano with the ball fake, under pressure from Benfatti. Looking deep, intercepted at the goal line.
Well, he took a gamble there. That wasn't a bad gamble considering the circumstances, but that would have been an awfully tough pass to complete.
His opposite number, Mike Talmadge, the right cornerback, picking it off. And Morris Knolls with 55 seconds will have the ball at their own 1-yard line.
And I would be very surprised if they even handed it off here. I think you're going to see Talmadge quarterback sneak it twice. I don't think they're going to risk a handoff under these circumstances.
Don't want to get a safety if you can help it. But Talmadge does bull ahead. Picks up maybe a yard.
Now, will West Essex take a timeout?
Gain of 1. We're down to 28 seconds.
I guess not. They could do that one more time and go in. We're talking about the Golden Eagles here. One more snap and they go in 13-0. And they have to love that position. Not only leading 13-0, but leading 13-0 against a team that is basically a ball control type team that's probably not going to beat you with the home run type play.
Morris Knolls, 2 one-point defeats. East Orange in the season opener of 21-20 and Randolph 17-16. And that is the end of the first half. The Morris Knolls Golden Eagles have jumped off to a 13-0 lead over West Essex. We'll take a timeout and be back with more right after this.
We received an anonymous phone call from one of your viewers.
Let me ask you this step out of your vehicle, step to the back of the car.
That a person that committed like a car theft is going to not commit a murder.
And back at Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, Steve Tober, Art Polakowski with Morris Knolls leading West Essex 13-0. And we're going to look at some first half statistics, Art. In terms of total yardage, Morris Knolls 182 yards, West Essex 98. Rushing 173 for Morris Knolls, 76 for the Knights. Passing 9 yards for Morris Knolls, the 1 completion for Talmadge, 22 yards on 3 of 7 for Luciano for West Essex. So that 182 to 98 total. Chris Cervona, 20 carries for 136 yards and a touchdown for Morris Knolls. Darren DeFazio for West Essex, their leading ball carrier, 8 carries for 57 yards.
That's a great game for Cervona, 20 for 136. That's a great game for most kids, and he's done it in a half. If you total that out, is he going to carry 40 times tonight? I don't think so. I don't think he's going to get the ball 40 times, but obviously they're in control of the football game. One thing we have seen, though, Steve, both in this telecast and when we did the Randolph game on Salmons a couple weeks ago, one slight deficiency in the Morris Knolls package seems to be kickoff returns. We saw Randolph return the opening kickoff against them the night we did the game, and we saw the West Essex almost break the opening kickoff tonight. So I think this not the opening kickoff, after the first touchdown, I think this second half kickoff could be a big play. Can West Essex get the kind of field position that they're going to need the second half to score 2 touchdowns?
And West Essex had great field position and 4 possessions in the first half. On that R.C. Renshaw kickoff return you just mentioned, they returned it to the 43 of Morris Knolls. Eventually had a field goal blocked by Tim DiLorenzo when they were down 7-0. DiLorenzo was blocked after the ball was moved to the 10-yard line of Morris Knolls. And then on a fumble recovery by Chris Cardella at the Morris Knolls 37, West Essex could not do anything. And then an interception by Anthony Gareffa at midfield. Three great field position possessions for West Essex, unable to score. The only bad field position they had was when they had the ball at their own 22-yard line after poorly fielding a kickoff. So 4 possessions, 3, great territorial-wise for the Knights, but unable to convert. 2 turnovers for Morris Knolls, 1 for West Essex. But Morris Knolls with the advantage, 182 to 98 in yards, and with a 13-0 lead on the Talmadge 1-yard TD run, with 6:14 to go to cap a 15-play, 69-yard drive. 7-0 after the Corey Weiner extra point, and then in the second period, 11:22. Chris Cervona, 13-yard TD run. The kick was blocked, 13-0, a 9-play, 91-yard drive. So Morris Knolls with the ball control, and West Essex was trying to do some different things defensively. We'll see what they come out with here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but more important, what are they going to come out with offensively? They've got to score twice to win. Of course, you're losing in every drive, every possession. You're losing in a high school game. You might only have 4 or 5 possessions in the second half, but this one is obviously key. They've got to establish something. Now, they probably have to score now. If they have to surrender the ball this time without scoring, I just think emotionally everything is on the Knolls side of the field. This is really a very, very key series.
And Darren DeFazio showing his speed. The Knights go with 3 deep men, and here they'll have to get something going. Third period underway. The Knights from their own 29-yard line.
The other interesting statistic in the first half is that Luciano's already thrown as many passes today as he averages in 10 other games. So obviously you're playing from behind. Your offense changes. Here he is back to throw again.
And he completes it to Napolitano at the 34-yard line with a forward motion for a gain of 5.
And it looks like Coach Ronanello wants to establish the pass now. Let's at least give Morris Knolls something to think about. That, hey, we're going to throw the ball. We're down 13 points, and we got to throw the football.
Call a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. The forward motion just outside the 35-yard line. Mike Napolitano with his 5th reception of the season. Up the middle goes the tank, Brian Griffel. First down to the 43-yard line, Corey Weiner. And then a tackle along with Darren Brucio, the right defensive guard, and the West Essex Knights On the move, 1st and 10. West Essex, the 4th seed coming in. They really lucked out when Orange lost to West Orange in a key Week 8 regular season game in the Northern Hills Conference. Snuck in as the 4th seed. DiLorenzo, 1st and 10, out to midfield, gain of 7. Nice run by Tim DiLorenzo. Chris Kunkel in on the tackle. Certainly plenty of time, Art. Down 13-0. You get a good drive started here. West Essex, if they can punch one over, even if they use up, say, 5-6 minutes of clock, they're right back in this football game.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get their 4 possessions in the second half. The question is whether they might not get any more than 4. They're going to get 4 probably with where they don't have to worry about the clock.
2nd and 3. Griffles got the first down. He burst through to the 39-yard line. Gain of 11 on the play. Brian Griffel, coming alive, entered the game with 153 carries for 1,009 yards, 6.6 per carry. The captain. And a 1st and 10 for West Essex at the Morris Knolls 39-yard line.
And this looks more like the West Essex attack that Coach Ronanello and his staff was looking for here tonight, and you as a West Essex grad were hoping to see.
Well, I was one of the captains on the 74 computer championship team in Group 3. As
That's the computer
carries
championship
for
football.
2.
Not the computer, that's the computer championship football
We're not
team.
talking about Stratomatic here. We're talking about being decided by a computer mathematical formula. The year before they started the modern day playoff system in 1975, the 74 season, where they held a few games down in Atlantic City. In fact, Morristown played Bloomfield. 2 teams we played that year beat Bloomfield 12-0, lost to Morristown 52-26, and Morristown won handily over Bloomfield that season. T.K. Trapuka, one of the standouts along the line of scrimmage for the Bloomfield Bengals that year. A sneak by Luciano down to the 32-yard line for a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 2. Nicky Luciano mixing things up behind his big center, Victor Rulis, a 6-foot, 215-pound senior.
Well, we said they would have to show something this drive, and they have. They've advanced the ball forward on every snap. They look like, they've got Morris Knolls back on their heels a little bit.
This drive started on the West Essex 29-yard line. They're now down to the 32 of Morris Knolls, 3rd and 2. Griffel down to the 30. He's going to be short. It'll be 4th and about a half a yard. The first down marker just inside, just outside the 29-yard line. So it's going to be about 4th and about a half a yard. A big 4th down here. This could be the play of the game.
This is a big one. You have to think West Essex can't make a yard here. I think it's
less
almost
than
a yard.
I think it's less than a yard.
Yeah, it's more than a half yard. Let's split the difference. It's 3/4 of a yard. They can't make it here. They don't deserve to win, Steve.
No.
They've got, you got the big fullback. Kids run for 1,100 yards. You got to think that he's going to be able to get that.
And Griffel's got it.
And he just did.
He gets down to the 37. Actually, they'll mark it, see, the 38. So it's a first.
The 27.
I'm sorry, the 27. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights. Actually marked the ball at the 28. So he got more than a yard for the first. Brian Griffel did. R.C. Renshaw checks in wide right. Ricafort wide left. Griffel's tied up there by Siljanowski, the defensive guard. Maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. 7:21 to go in the 3rd period. West Essex using up some clock. They don't want to see that, but they are moving the football. 2nd and 9 with the 27 of Morris Knolls. The Golden Eagles with a 13-0 lead. Luciano, the quick opener, complete to Renshaw. He's down to the 19-yard line. Be about a yard short.
That's the same completion they had before to Renshaw off the tight set, and he just goes down, squares off, and Luciano was able to put the ball there. Now, Knolls does not have an outside linebacker in their 6-2 scheme. They don't have an outside backer in that package to be between the passer and the receiver. That play is going to work.
3rd and 1. Luciano keeps. He's got the first down to the 17. Nicky Luciano, the senior quarterback, came in with 75 yards rushing on the year. And the Knights looking to get back in this football game. They trail 13-0. They drove down to the Morris Knolls 10-yard line in the second period, unable to score on a blocked field goal. They've had good field position for the most part. DeFazio from his left halfback spot. Then Foudy and Rebels coming in to help make the hit.
They stuffed that play pretty good at the. That's about the first play they have stuffed good on this series, but they did. They did stop them that time. And now they're in, even though they're in 4 down territory, it looks like Knolls is digging in a little bit.
2nd and 9 after the 1-yard pickup by DeFazio. Gorefa wide left. Over the middle, knocked away by Weiner, intended for DiLorenzo. Again, too much on that ball. It'll set up 3rd and 9. High school playoffs from Giant Stadium on Salmons Channel 3. Steve Tober, Art Polakowski on a beautiful Friday night. For early December, you can't ask for much better weather. Third and 9. Single back Griffel. Complete to Renshaw down at the 13-yard line.
Again, they worked that square out, but they didn't get first down. They left themselves about 5 yards short, Stephen. If they don't have a 5-yard play here, this is going to be a very deflating finish to this, what looked like a very promising drive.
They took over at their own 29-yard line to start the second half. We're down to 5 minutes to go in the third period. West Essex has had the football for the entire period, where they face a crucial 4th and 5 at the 13 of Morris Knolls. Let's see what the Knights have up their sleeves.
He's taking a
crucial down.
He's taking a timeout, Steve. He sent DiLorenzo in with the play, but DiLorenzo never even talked to anybody else there. He told the kid, the only kid he told to play, it looked like was the kid he was replacing.
So a timeout for Ron Anello and the West Essex Knights. Ron Anello, a Montclair High graduate, attended Trenton State College, was an assistant at Montclair in their 1983 playoff championship team under Butch Fortunato. Also coached 2 years at Snyder High School, 1 year under Jim Benedict at West Essex, and then became the head coach for the West Essex Knights. And has done a nice job. If you take away his first 2 seasons, and his last 5 plus are 37-17-2, 41-31-2 overall. Has had 6 straight winning seasons now, second best in Essex County behind Caldwell's 10.
Right, and he's also been credited with really upgrading the numbers in the program. They seem to be strong right down from the JV and the freshman level every year, and it's a little different system that they ran under Coach Benedict and even under Coach Bill Rocca before that. And I guess, you know, it's different guys do it different ways, and Ron's found a successful formula at West Essex.
They'd like to find some success here on a crucial 4th and 5 at the Morris Knolls 13-yard line. Luciano looking to pass, incomplete, intended for Renshaw. Corey Weiner again in the mix defending for Morris Knolls, and the Golden Eagles hold once again.
Weiner, a pretty good coverage kid, huh? Well, you throw a pass in Weiner's direction, you throw to a receiver near Weiner, and Weiner's got him covered pretty good.
He's an impressive player. Corey Weiner, 5'8", 145-pound senior, is the ice hockey goalie at Morris Knolls. Has a pretty good left foot as a place kicker here in the football field as well. On first down, Cervona picks up 3 out to the 16. Now Morris Knolls, all they have to do is play ball control. 4:33 to go third quarter. The Golden Eagles hold a 13-0 lead.
Clock is their friend right now, and as long as they keep the ball on the ground, that thing is ticking pretty quick. We're already 2/3 of the way through this third quarter.
West Essex used 7 minutes and got nothing out of it. Talmadge to throw on the near sideline, complete to Weiner.
And just as we say that, Regan does the unpredictable, and they connect on a pass. They're showing them everything.
Complete to the 26-yard line for the first down for the Golden Eagles, who could win their first playoff championship. They've been to the finals 5 times, lost in 93 to Morristown, and 92 to Nutley in Group 3. And in Group 4, they lost to Elizabeth back-to-back years in 1988 and 89. A perennial playoff power, Morris Knolls. That Houston Veer offense. On 1st and 10, Talmadge pitches to Cervona. Cervona's got first down and more. Out of bounds at the 49-yard line. A pickup. A good pickup by Cervona.
How about the block that the wideout for Walter Mould in that quarter took out 2 guys. Now, they got themselves in a position where one guy could take out 2, but that was he took out the first guy. We're looking at a replay here on the Giant Stadium screen, and he kind of took out the second guy with a clip, but the official wasn't going to call it because the first guy pushed him into the second guy.
A 22-yard gain by Chris Cervona. Talmadge fakes, goes long for Weiner, almost intercepted. A flag thrown.
Oh, I don't know what that should be.
Chris Cardella was defending a late flag.
I don't understand that at all. I thought Weiner made a great play to knock the ball away from the interceptor. I hope they're not going to call this offensive pass interference. That's exactly
yes,
what they're. That's a poor call. That's a very bad call, Steve. I don't know what that guy thought he was saying. The interceptor had the ball. He caught the ball. He had the interception, and then the Morris Knolls kid knocked the ball away from him as he's supposed to do.
Nothing unusual on that. I mean, the kids play.
Terrible call. Awful. That's the idea of the game. If the guy intercepts the pass, you try to jar it away from him. He didn't stop that kid from intercepting.
It seemed like a late flag, too.
Yes, he did. It was ridiculous. We've seen, I don't want to get on these officials. I think these officials are calling a good game, but we were here for the first game, and it looked like every one of the guys who was here wants to justify that he's in Giant Stadium. In the first game, they had to have like 75 flags. Now, I thought these guys had done a pretty good job, and the game isn't out of control at all, but for some reason, this fellow running up the right sidelines made a ridiculous call there. When they see that in the films or the tape, they're going to realize that was a horrible football call.
Well, on a 1st and 25, Talmadge is stuffed up at the line of scrimmage by a fired-up West Essex Mike Cesare, defensive left end, number 77, with a nice stop for the Knights. 3rd down and 25 from the 35. Talmadge to throw, incomplete, intended for Weiner. Cardella defending, and Morris Knolls will face their first punt of the evening.
They've either scored or turned it over, or let the clock run out at the end of the half. They have not surrendered it on downs yet when they had not punted it yet. But they're going to punt it now.
With 2:56 to go, 3rd period, Morris Knolls holding a 13-0 lead. R.C. Renshaw deep for Weiner's kick. Short one. And rolls dead at the 41-yard line, where West Essex will take over again with decent field position. Mike Talmadge with a kick for the Golden Eagles, the quarterback and punter. Morris Knolls began the season with a 21-20 loss to East Orange, but bounced back with 5 straight wins before losing to Randolph, and then they've won their last 3. Luciano completing Napolitano on the receiving end. A gain of 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Once again, as you pointed out in the first day, once again, West Essex started with pretty good field position. But it hasn't helped them put any points on the board yet.
Great field position all night long. DeFazio, he's got the first down. He's down to the 46-yard line. He's knocked out of bounds by Kunkel. Chris Kunkel, the right linebacker, 5'10", 177-pound senior. The West Essex Knights, a team which had high expectations last year. A lot of people thought they would be like an 8-1, 9-1 type team. They finished 5-4 with 3 losses by 6 points or less. They've come back here in 1994. They're 8-2, but they're in big trouble. Griffel, the tank, down to the 39-yard line for a pickup of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. Chris Rebels in on the tackle. Giant Stadium, a little different atmosphere here, Art. It's hard to get a real feel for the crowd, which bunches its way between the 40s on either side of the field.
I think there's about 2,000 people here, maybe 2,500, and there were totally separate people from the 1,500 people that were here for the first game. Those 1,500 people left, and 2,000, 2,500 more have come in.
On a 2nd and 2, again, Luciano overthrowing the receiver, Napolitano. 3rd and 2, with 1:51 to go in the 3rd period. No scoring. West Essex had controlled the football for 7 minutes to start this period, but were unable to score. Morris Knolls has played great ball control. Griffel breaks free. First down to the 23-yard line. Brian Griffel finally brought down by Corey Weiner.
Big hole on that one. They really blocked that one well in the middle of the line.
West Essex with a 212-pound average up front to 179 for Morris Knolls. And Vic Rulis at 215 the center. Eric Lem and Mike Cesare 255, 245 the tackles. Luciano to throw, completes to Renshaw at the 20. Another quick opener, a gain of 4 with a forward motion for R.C. Renshaw. Came in the game with 9 receptions for 119, so he's now in double figures on the receiving end for the Knights.
Steve, I like that play when they got to get a first down or something, that square out and get to the marker, but I don't like it so much when you're throwing the ball 30 yards across the field for a 5-yard gain. I think he might go to the well once too often with that. At some point in time, that's been their most effective pass play, and there's a lot of green jerseys who are near or around that football when it's thrown, and I think somebody's going to step in front of that one before this one's over.
2nd and 4, Griffel pulls forward.
I think he lost the ball, but the officials are ruling that it was down.
It's down at the 14. He might be a yard shy of the first. It'll be 3rd.
They're going to measure.
A yard. Looks like they're going to bring in the sticks.
It doesn't look like, you're right though, it doesn't look like you have it.
40 seconds to go in the 3rd period. Morris Knolls with that 13-0 lead. Mike Talmadge, the quarterback, with a 1-yard TD run in the 1st period, and then Chris Cervona has over 150 yards rushing here tonight with a 13-yard run in the 2nd period. It is just short. So a big 3rd down situation for West Essex. 3rd and about 6 inches. Maybe we'll see Luciano try to sneak the ball here, Art. You have the full house.
Or he's a fullback again.
Backfield. Maybe we'll go with Griffel.
Yeah, I think they're going to go with Griffel. I mean, they got 2 shots at making it. I think they're going to try to get something more than a 1-yard quarterback sneak.
And they do go to the tank. It dives forward.
He might not have made it. It's going to depend on where they spot the ball.
Yep, it's going to depend on where the referee places it. I think they might be short again.
Yeah,
Going to go for another measurement?
I don't even think they're as far as they were the last time.
They're going to bring the chains in again. 25 seconds to go now in the 3rd period. West Essex has occupied the football for most of this period.
No, they actually lost a little bit on that.
They're still short. You see the referee indicating just inches. So it'll be 4th and inches at just outside the 14-yard line of Morris Knolls. West Essex in their road white shirts, red pants.
Why is the clock stopped?
Now they start it up. Crucial play of this football game. The handoff, the first down for DiLorenzo. He's headed to the end zone. Touchdown, West Essex. Tim DiLorenzo with a 14-yard TD run. It's 13-6.
He's a guy they haven't featured too much in the attack tonight, the sophomore halfback DiLorenzo, and they surprised Morris Knolls with that. Then they caught the defense inside, they took it to the outside, and you know, they're obviously right back in this game.
4th and inches, Tim DiLorenzo, the right halfback, scoring his 7th touchdown of the season, and now he'll try the extra point, where he's connected on 27 point afters this year. Renshaw to hold. The kick is good. The West Essex Knights are right back in this football game with 13 seconds left in the third period. It's 13-7, Morris Knolls.
Bill Regan is a very agitated football coach over on that other side of the field right now, Steve. He's not happy with something. Obviously, he's not happy giving up the touchdown, but
that offensive pass interference call against Weiner in the last series
moved the ball 15 yards. Moved the ball 15 yards. Yes, it did. But and in that vein, you know, Morris Knolls was playing pretty aggressively for a 2-touchdown lead against a team that is not going to likely to score quickly against you. They were playing with a lot of confidence there. Hey, let's try to get another one on the board. Let's really put it away. And maybe the gamble didn't pay off. They didn't stop the clock a couple times after incompleted passes and things like that. I mean, they didn't keep the clock going via the incompleted passes. And this game could be a little bit further along now in terms of time if they hadn't played it that way.
Chris Rebels is deep, along with Weiner, Talmadge, and Cervona. Tim DiLorenzo to kick off. The Knights feel they're right back in this one. Taken at the 20 by Cervona. He breaks the tackle, cuts back across the grain. Cervona is across midfield and down to the 46-yard line of West Essex. A good return by Chris Cervona.
You're going to kick it to an up back. You certainly don't want to kick it to Cervona. He's not deep. He's short on those kickoff returns. And there he was at the 20-yard line, and he improvised that one. He took it one way, saw there was nothing there, pivoted, reverse field, and almost broke it. He was caught by the last guy back. And that's the third quarter.
And that is the end of the third quarter. Morris Knolls leads the West Essex Knights 13-7. We'll be back with the exciting fourth quarter right after this.
The world is before them. They have goals, dreams, feelings,
I'm with it.
concerns, ambition, and opinions. They're teenagers. Hear what teens have to say. Watch Teen Talk the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. Only on TV3.
Back at Giant Stadium, set for fourth quarter action. 1st and 10 for Morris Knolls at the West Essex 45-yard line. Talmadge going to Cervona for 5 yards on the veer.
You get the feeling they're not going to gamble anymore, Steve. I got a feeling they're just going to run pure veer option and fullback pops. Not fullback pops, but inside pops with the two running backs, mainly Cervona and maybe Benfatti.
Call it 6 yards. 2nd and 4. Cervona moving behind the right guard, Kunkel, and the right tackle, Voorhees, and the center, Darren Brusio. Again, Cervona, he's got the first down. Big pickup down to the 26 of West Essex.
Right up the gut with it.
A gain of 9. First and 10 for Morris Knolls. 11:23 to go in this football game. Morris Knolls looking to increase their lead. They lead 13-7. They led 13-0 at halftime. And Tim DiLorenzo had just brought the Knights within striking range. Cervona picks up a couple.
Yeah, on that play, the tackle came across real well. Brendan Johnson came across to make the play, but Cervona still got a couple yards out of it. He spun out of the tackle and made some forward yardage.
Tim Catanzano along with Richie LaMonaco, who's seen a bit of this afternoon, number 72, helping in as well in that tackle. 2nd and 8 at the 24 of West Essex. Cervona for a couple of more. Eric Lem in on the stop. It'll be 3rd and 6. More importantly, that clock still moves. 10:22 to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and if they get some points out of this, they're getting right in the vicinity of Weiner's field goal distance here.
I
think this time they would take it. If they had a chance to go up 9, I think they would take the opportunity.
3rd and 6. Ben Fatty.
And sure enough, they ran it closer to the middle of the field.
Knocked up by Eric Lem, number 52, and on the stop.
Well, he didn't get a real good spot on that, though.
It'll be 4th and 4.
I'm talking 37 yards. I don't know if Pointer has that kind of range.
Here comes.
They're not even thinking about it.
Walter Mold in with a play replacing Pete Cannon, one of the wide receiver messenger combos for Morris Knolls. And on 4th and 4 at the 19-yard line, the Golden Eagles will try for a big first down. Now, moving on the left side of the line,
the left tackle jump.
Sil Janowski. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Golden Eagles for illegal procedure. Make it a 4th and 9 now instead of the 4th and 4. Ball back to the 24-yard line. Clock continues to move. 9:20 to go in the 4th quarter. Mold and Weiner wide left. Talmadge rolls that way, but he's sacked by Cesare. Mike Cesare, the left defensive end, sacking Talmadge back at the 36-yard line. And the West Essex Knights will take over. This might be the break West Essex needed.
Well, they certainly have a lot of emotion on the near side of the field, underneath where we're sitting, Steve. That was a big play, and it looked like someone, obviously when you lose big yardage, it looks like an ill-conceived play. But you're asking Talmadge to roll out to his left to the short side of the field. I'm not sure what they were trying to get out of that.
Luciano keeping, picks up 6 yards on a quarterback sneak out to the 42-yard line. Nick Luciano moving behind center Vic Rulis. It'll be 2nd and 4. 8:30 to go. Plenty of time here for West Essex to mount a last-ditch drive.
Plenty of time on this drive, Steve. It'll probably be the last drive where they don't have to worry about the clock expiring. If they get it again, it's going to be with having to worry about how much time is left.
Complete to Renshaw for the first down out to the 48-yard line. R.C. Renshaw.
How many times have they worked that play today? That short pitch to the right side, the short toss to the right side to Renshaw. That's about 6 or 7 completions they've got on that play.
1st and 10 for West Essex at their own 48-yard line. 8:14 to go in the 4th quarter. Hope you've enjoyed championship football here on Salmon's Channel 3. Steve Tober, Art Polakowski from Giant Stadium in East Rutherford. DeFazio on first down into Knolls territory. DeFazio bulls his way to the 44-yard line for a pickup of 7. Beautiful run, Darren DeFazio, the 5'9", 180-pound junior. He's had a fine ball game here tonight.
Yeah, he slid a couple tackles there. He's looked good tonight, making people miss, particularly in his own backfield. When somebody comes across on him, DeFazio seems to be able to make that first slide to get some running room.
Morris Knolls in that wide tackle 6, trying to stop the Knights. Griffel, he's got himself another first down to the 41-yard line. 7:33 to go in the football game. West Essex, they won here in 1980, defeating Belleville in the Group 4 state playoff final. They like to come from behind and win here in Group 3. Morris Knolls has never won a playoff championship. They've been to 5 finals. Luciano under pressure, gets it away, and it's almost intercepted by Cervona. Luciano very fortunate in that instance, Art.
Oh, absolutely. I thought might have been the first bad thing Cervona did all game. I thought he should have had that. I think he was a little surprised it was right to him.
Second and 10. DiLorenzo. Siljanowski with a nice hit after a 2-yard pickup off the left side by DiLorenzo. It'll be 3rd and 8. That time they went back to their right halfback. DiLorenzo had scored the touchdown for West Essex on a 14-yard run in the 3rd period. But the Golden Eagle defense was there for the stop. It'll be 3rd and 9, call it. A big 3rd and 9 situation. West Essex will have 2 downs here with 6:40 to go in the 4th period. Luciano to pass. Completes it to DeFazio to the 36-yard line. He's still going to be 5 yards short. Well, where they're going to place the sticks. It'll be 4th and 5. A huge 4th down situation. This could be it for the West Essex Knights with 6 minutes remaining in the ball game. They're at the 36. Luciano to throw. He goes deep for Renshaw. Renshaw's there. He's got it. Touchdown West Essex. A 36-yard touchdown pass from Nicky Luciano to R.C. Renshaw. And the West Essex Knights have tied this football game at 13-13 with 5:53 to go in the 4th period.
Well, they've been throwing that short one to Renshaw, setting them up all game long, and now they took it deep, and he blew right by the cornerback, and Luciano made a great throw, didn't he, Steve?
Beautiful touch on that one, Art. I seen him throw that ball like that earlier in the season against Dover. He has the capabilities. Now the all-important extra point. Renshaw to hold. DiLorenzo, the kick is up. It's good. Tim DiLorenzo's extra point has given the West Essex Knights a 14-13 lead here in the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 Championship. We have 5:53 to go, and the Golden Eagles now will have to play come from behind. What an effort here by the Knights in the second half, Art. They were down 13-0.
Yeah, they were in a position where they almost knew they had to score in like 2 of their first 3 possessions, and they were able to accomplish that. They missed the first time, but they've scored the last 2. And, now they're obviously 6 minutes away from a state championship.
Tim DiLorenzo had a 14-yard TD run on a 4th and inches with 13 seconds to go in the 3rd period. And now West Essex on a 4th quarter drive, a 36-yard touchdown pass from Nick Luciano to R.C. Renshaw, his favorite target all evening long. Tim DiLorenzo's crucial extra point, his second of the evening, his 29th of the season. It's 14-13 West Essex. Rebels, Talmadge, Weiner, Cervona, the up man, all deep for DiLorenzo's kickoff. It's picked up by Weiner at the 13. Weiner cuts back across the field. Good coverage by West Essex. Eric Lemon company bring him down at the 27-yard line, where Morris Knolls will take over with 5:46 to go. We talked about West Essex are not being a real good come-from-behind football team in terms of their offense, but they've done it here tonight.
They sure have.
Morris Knolls now, Art, though, has to play come-from-behind for the first time here tonight. Benfatti in motion. The pitch to Cervona. Good penetration by the Knights. Cervona able to get out of bounds for 4-yard pickup. Well, it seems like Cervona is going to be stopped, and he seems to get 3-4 yards at the minimum out of every run.
Oh, yeah. No, he's something. He's some kind of running back.
2nd and 6 at the 32-yard line. That all-important clock reads 5:22 to go in the 4th quarter. West Essex has stormed from behind to take a 14-13 lead. Cervona. He's got the first down. He's got more. He's out to the 43-yard line. Pickup of 9. It's been all Chris Cervona on the ground for the Golden Eagles. Unofficially 170 yards rushing. We'll have to check on those figures. At halftime, he had 136, so he might even be over 180 according to our unofficial figures. Talmadge on first down. He cuts back. He's into West Essex territory down to the 47-yard line, close to another first down.
What you don't like as a West Essex fan or as a West Essex alum, Steve, is how slow they seem to be reacting after these plays. Morris Knolls had called the play, was out of the huddle, and got to the line of scrimmage before the West Essex defense was even set that time. This time it looks like they're getting set. It looks like the West Essex defense, which has been off the field most of this half, looks a little tired out there.
2nd and inches at the 47 of West Essex. Weiner in motion. Talmadge keeps and is sacked. A swarm of West Essex defenders. Tim Catanzano, Mario D'Angelo in to make that key stop.
I think Catanzano was the first guy to get there. They thought they had him bottled up, and he slipped around the tackle. I'm not sure what Talmadge was trying to do. It's kind of like one of those freeze options that are so popularly named now, but the play took an awful long time to develop, and Catanzano got there, made the big play for the Knights.
And we're down to 3:54 to go in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 4. Morris Knolls from their own 49-yard line. Cervona, again, good defense by the Knights. Cervona stopped up.
And again, it was Catanzano made the initial hit on him.
Catanzano, Scotty DiLorenzo also in with an assist. It'll be 4th and 3. I call it 4th and 2 at the 49. They have to get just outside the 46, between the 46 and 47 for a first down.
You think Cervona's going to get the football here, Steve?
You'd have to think so, Art. He's gotten it all night long. 4th and 2. But Talmadge keeps. He's got the first down. He dives to the 39 of West Essex. Little surprise to both of us.
It was DeVere. Cervona was trailing it. He was the pitch man, and Talmadge made the great read and decided he could do it himself and did.
They said his knees were down back at the 40, but it's in West Essex territory. 3 minutes to go in the 4th period. Morris Knolls now looking to come from behind with a big touchdown. West Essex 14-13 with 2 second-half scores and the crucial extra points. Talmadge again, keeps again. He dives for 8 yards down to the 32-yard line.
Talmadge looked like he checked off at the line of scrimmage that time.
He's a confident quarterback, Art. He sees something in there with the alignment of West Essex.
Yeah, he decided to take it outside. That might have been the quick pop to Cervona. He decided to take it out on the veer play, and he made some yardage on it.
Morris Knolls, time still not that much of a factor.
Well, they still have all their timeouts, I believe.
They have their 3 timeouts. Cervona on the quick opener. He's down to the 17-yard line, called the 18-yard line. A gain of 12. 1st and 10 for Morris Knolls. Chris Cervona, typical in that veer. We've seen it over the years from Morris Knolls. That quick opener to the halfback. And
they forced West Essex to take the timeout here. West Essex looks like a tired team on defense.
Hard to believe they had so much energy coming back and getting those 2 touchdowns. They showed a lot of enthusiasm. the big completion to Renshaw to put them ahead. And here Morris Knolls comes out, drives down the field, 2:08 to go in the ball game. They're down to the 19 of West Essex, on the verge of knocking one in. Of course, all they need is a field goal here.
Right, though they really haven't, the way they've strategized this, they really haven't shown a lot of confidence of kicking a field goal for any distance. They've eschewed the field goal a couple times, have gone for first down yardage. Not really sure how deep they would have to take it in order to go for a field goal. I believe they have all their timeouts left. I don't recall them taking a timeout. West Essex taking 3 timeouts, I think, this half, but I think Knolls has all three of theirs.
1st and 10 at the 19 of West Essex.
And it's up to the Knights here to make a big defensive stand.
2:08 remaining in the 4th quarter. Talmadge keeps again. Talmadge dives to the 16 for a gain of 3. Clock moves below 2 minutes and moving. 1:55. They're at the 16-yard line, 2nd and 7. Pete Cannon goes wide right. Cervona stopped up. Good penetration that time. Richie LaMonica.
Sophomore who's not listed among their starting 11, who's in the game, and they have been, Ronanello has been shuffling kids in and out to get some fresh troops in there, and that time the sophomore came through for him and made the play. That's one of the few times they've stopped Cervona from at least cracking through the line of scrimmage all night long.
It'll be 3rd and 6 at the 15-yard line. A timeout on the field with 1:31 to go. It's been a great one here on Salmon's Channel 3. Steve Tober, Art Polakowski. We hope you enjoyed this championship football action here from Giants Stadium in East Rutherford.
You couldn't ask for a better game here, Steve.
It's been exciting. It looked like Morris Knolls, after that 13-0 halftime lead, would just coast. But West Essex took advantage of some field position. They drove down the big 4th and inches run by DiLorenzo, 14-yard burst. They pulled them within 13-7.
Give the Knights a lot of credit. A lot of teams might have packed it in at halftime. They were thoroughly outplayed in the first half. And as we talked about, they don't have the kind of offense that generally can come from behind. And they've taken the lead. They have come from behind. Now, whether they can sustain it and hold the lead, we have to find out.
3rd and 6 for Morris Knolls at the 15. The pitch to Cervona.
He's looking for the. He's
going
for the
that
chains.
yard marker. He's out of bounds at about the 11.
He didn't get it. So now you got the big decision. This is why they pay the coaches the big bucks. The high school coaches aren't making the real big bucks. But now you're talking about, do you take a 29-yard field goal or do you go 4th and 2 here?
4th and 2 at the 11.
And he doesn't have much time to make this decision, and they're going for it.
They're going to go for it.
Yeah.
The biggest play of the season for Morris Knolls, and for West Essex for that matter, a timeout. Here to be taken by West Essex.
I guess they had one left.
Yes, the Knights defensively, Ronanello. Now, how about this strategy, Art? Going a timeout here.
He's giving Bill Regan more time to think about what he wants to do. Maybe he'll change his mind.
Yeah, we've seen Regan switch his mind before, earlier in the game.
I think we saw that. I said that at the time.
Pass completion to Weiner, which set up the first touchdown by Talmadge.
I thought he'd send in a couple. I saw a couple kids run on the field, and I thought they were coming in for a field goal. But it's possible I was wrong there. But here he's giving it. I don't see a lot of movement though in terms of what he wants to do.
The West Essex has taken out the monster back Mark Keenan to get, I guess, a bigger body up front.
Let's see if they set up in the 4. A lot of times, though, with short down yardage, they've been set up in the 4 anyways. Not exactly the way you would prescribe it. They've been in the 5 sometimes on first down, and short down yardage they've been in the 4. So they've got different packages that we obviously are unaware of.
Football.
I got to think from the other side, Cervona's got to get the football.
Football is outside the 11-yard line. 4th and 2.
Well, he's bunched up now. They're in a 6-4 right now. They're in a goal line defense, and there's Cervona. He's got the first down. He's got the first down.
He's down to the 6-yard line. Chris Cervona. Who else? 1st and goal for Morris Knolls.
If I'm Morris Knolls, I would take my chances and give the ball to Cervona 4 times. I think 4 trips and he makes 6 yards. What do you think, Steve?
I think that's a good bet. With 1:21 to go, plenty of time.
For us to say. We don't have to answer to it. Somebody says that, why'd you rather say play every time? But I think he's a terrific player.
One of the best in New Jersey,
And
Chris Cervona.
and he's still fresh. I'm telling you, he's fresher than a lot of those other kids out there.
Cervona drives down to the 2-yard line with his second and goal.
Now, why did the clock stop? Oh, he took the timeout.
They're going
I think
to
they
mark
have
it at
one
the
left.
3-yard line. Second and goal with 58 seconds to go. A timeout. 3-yard line, 58 seconds left. West Essex clinging to a 14-13 lead, and Morris Knolls on the doorstep of knocking over the winning touchdown in this football game. Knolls looking for their first playoff championship. Bill Regan in his 20th season, taking the Golden Eagles to 5 finals. 3 in Group 3, 2 in Group 4, and looking for the ultimate prize here this evening at Giant Stadium. First time in 13 years we've been back to this palatial ballpark and the meadows here in Bergen County, East Rutherford. State playoffs here in the late 70s and early 80s. Some teams decided not to come out here this year.
Some teams are very adamant about not coming here.
Providence, Randolph among many. Second and goal for the Golden Eagles at the 3-yard line. 50 seconds. 58 seconds, excuse me.
Cervona again, and they stacked him up short.
He stopped up. Eric Lem, one of the men across, along with Mario D'Angelo, the inside linebacker who made good penetration that time. It'll set up third and goal at the 2.
You got to run. I think they're going to run left and put it in front of the crossbars. No, they didn't.
Cervona to the outside. He's strung up and taken down by Cardella. It's going to be 4th down. All right, the clock moving. 28 seconds.
He has a timeout.
Timeout with 27 seconds.
Boy, I'm surprised they didn't run the ball in front of the posts.
4th down and goal. Ball marked at the 2-yard line. 27 seconds left.
But it was angle on the right hash mark. I mean, it's an extra point if it's in front of the post, but it's not an extra point here.
The left-footed kicker Weiner would be your field goal.
Boy, I don't think they're going for a field goal.
But it looks like their Golden Eagles are going to go for all the marbles. We'll wait and see how they come out. North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 final going right down to the wire.
That was an odd call on 3rd down, Steve, when you could have run the ball left and put it in front of an extra point field goal.
And Chris Cardella, who's not considered, say, their strongest defender in the secondary, came up and made a big stop in the left cornerback spot. Chris Cardella.
It didn't surprise him. It surprised us, but it certainly didn't surprise Chris. And they're going for it right here.
4th and goal at the 2-yard line. 27 seconds left.
We know who's getting the ball.
The pitch to Cervona.
And he made it.
And he goes in for the touchdown.
I go back to my original thought, give him the ball 4 times.
24 seconds left. A 2-yard touchdown run by Chris Cervona. And Morris Knolls has taken a 19-14 lead. Great blocking all game long, Art. That Tim Voorhees, the right tackle, number 70, has been out there in key situations.
They've run that side very, very effectively with the right tackle, Voorhees, the right guard.
Chris Kunkel
at the right guard spot. And Ryan Grisano, who's the tight end, usually plays on the right side. And almost virtually every down was on the right side.
And Knolls will go for 2. Talmadge to throw, goes end zone, completes.
Grisano had a great day blocking, deserves to score some points tonight, and he just did.
Ryan Grisano, the tight end, junior, hauls in that 2-pointer, 21-14. 24 seconds to go. West Essex may have time for, after their kickoff return, maybe 2 plays tops.
Let's worry, if you're Morris Knolls, worry about the kickoff return. As we said, kickoff coverage is not their forte. But I don't think they're going to have to cover this one. I think he's just going to bounce this one up around the midfield stripe and let it lie there.
Chris Cervona, who may be over 200 yards rushing. We don't have the official statistics, but he's been right around that mark at 136 yards at halftime. Has over 70 here in the second half. 2 touchdown runs, one of 13 yards, one here of 2. Talmadge with a sneak for the other score for Morris Knolls. DiLorenzo on 14 yards. Renshaw, a 36-yard reception from Luciano, is scoring for West Essex. But Morris Knolls, when they had their backs to the wall, they marched down and punched it in. Weiner to kick off. R.C. Renshaw had a nice return in the first half into Morris Knolls territory to the 43 is the deep man. They try to keep it away from him, and they do. DeFazio picks up to the 21. Darren DeFazio breaks a couple of tackles before getting to the 41-yard line, where he's finally brought down with 18 seconds left. Darren Brucio in on the stop. And West Essex, obviously Nick Luciano here, will have to air one out. Clock moving too. Down to 12 seconds. Luciano. There's the opener to Renshaw. Renshaw with a nice.
He's going to draw a crowd. He didn't get out of bounds either. That's it. He doesn't have a timeout.
And that is the game. As the clock winds down, the Morris Knolls Golden Eagles have defeated West Essex 21-14. Bernard Polakowski, a great ball game, a great second half.
Tremendous game. It's a obviously the cliche is a tough one for either team to lose. You saw Renshaw on the last play. Kid must have had 8 or 9 receptions tonight. Tried to call a timeout they didn't have. The official was not going to acknowledge it, and that was the ball game. I guess the one thing we were correct about all evening long, Steve, we said at the beginning of the show that this Cervone is quite a player, and he's as good as we've seen in the running back position this year, and Knolls certainly approached the game that way. That last drive, I guess he either carried the ball or was back as the pitch man on every play. The only times he didn't carry the ball is when Talmadge didn't pitch it, decided to keep it himself on the veer option play.
Well, on the biggest play of the game, Chris Cervone goes 2 yards for the winning touchdown with 24 seconds left. 21-14, Morris Knolls defeats West Essex in the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 championship game. We'll be back with our post-game show right after this. Back at Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, where Morris Knolls has defeated West Essex 21-14. Steve Tober and Art Polakowski were joined by Tim Voorhees. Did a super job on the right side of that offensive line tonight, Tim. You really moved out those bigger West Essex bodies here.
Yeah, they were tough, but it's not just me, it's everyone on the line.
You guys did a super job blocking.
Yeah, everyone works together to get the push.
The game plan was to run over you, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it sure looked that way.
It was everyone, though. Everyone did their part.
Well, it was one of the better jobs I've seen from a right tackle this season. Congratulations, Tim Voorhees.
Thanks.
Tim, congratulations.
Chris Cervone, come on in, Chris. Senior halfback, 2 big touchdowns. The game winner on a 4th down play with 24 seconds to go. Any thoughts of going for the field goal by the team, or they felt confident going with you on that big 4th down play?
It was a bad angle to make a field goal. We thought we could run it in, and Voorhees on the right side of the line did a great job of blocking. I followed Tim all game on those pitches, and I owe a lot of it to Tim. He did a great job. The whole line did a great job.
Chris, you must have carried the ball 35, yet you look like the freshest guy in the football field at the end. You feel that way you could play another 48 minutes if you had to, or what?
Well, in a game like this, you don't get tired. It's, you got to go hard all the time, and you don't really feel the tiredness. So
you guys fell behind. Well, you went ahead there 13-0. We thought the ball control team like yourself, you're going to hang on nicely in the second half, but West Essex came storming back.
Yeah, we sort of relaxed a little in the second half, and then after their second score, we knew we had to step it up, so it was a big gut check, and we knew we could do it.
Coach Regan had a couple of big fourth down calls to pass to Corey Weiner to set up the first touchdown by Mike Talmadge on a sneak, and then you don't go for the field goal and they give it to you. The coach, assistant coach was saying coming down in the elevator, Chris Cervona, we wanted the ball in his hands at the end.
I don't know, maybe they feel confident. I don't know. Yeah.
I think they should feel confident on it.
Oh, there's no question about that. I mean, it looked like we said on air that, hey, when you were first down from the 5, we said 4 times to Cervona, and I think that was your game plan all along. The plan on that situation all along.
It's fun. We're state champs. Yeah.
Congratulations, Chris Cervona. Super job. 2 touchdowns today, over 200 yards rushing. We're going to bring Coach Regan for a quick, Coach Regan, you've got the big prize here tonight. You've been to the finals before many times. Your 5th trip here tonight, and you've come through with a championship.
Well, we're just tickled pink to have a chance to play in Giant Stadium where, we said Nebraska started the season and all the great Giant teams have played, and the Jets, Lou Benfatti, one of our players, plays here as his home field, and we were real excited about being here, but mostly we just wanted to play another game together. Our kids are a real tight group that cares so much about each other. We're not a super gifted group. Individually, but collectively we can play pretty good football, and I'm just so proud of their character in that stretch drive, because it was all guts and heart on that one, especially down here tight, and a couple of the fourth downs that we converted on the way too. I mean, we had to dig deep on that one.
And it seemed, Coach, where West Essex came storming back, they take that 14-13 lead on the pass to Renshaw. You could have easily followed your temp, but you guys came right out and drove down the field.
Our guys have more heart and more character than that. I mean, the whole thing is based on that. We played the Unions and the Elizabeths and the Montclairs, and now we're in Group 3. We'll play whoever shows up, but it's just on character and guts that we're playing, and we're just real proud of them. We're just very thankful, and we thank the Lord for the chance to play this great game. And we've learned a lot about ourselves and certainly care a lot about each other.
You're in an emotional moment right now, Coach, and it's been 20 years. You've had some incredible seasons at Morris Knolls, but this one, the final prize, it's just an incredibly emotional moment.
We told him last night, we were doing some talking about this in the wrestling room with the lights out, and I told him I dreamed often about coaching a great team, a team that really cared about each other, that would really do anything possible to help their buddies, and that's exactly what they did, and I couldn't be prouder of them. I mean, it was just entirely an attitude victory.
Well, congratulations, Coach. A tremendous victory for Morris Knolls.
Thank you.
Coach Bill Regan, come on in, Art. As Bill Regan's going to get tossed with the water on the right side. Better him than us, Art.
Run of the day. This is better than Sedona.
Let's see if Dave Stravick, our fine director of cameramen, can get a shot of that one. They finally get Coach Regan on the far sidelines. A great moment in Morris Knolls football history. And Art Polakowski, some final words from you. A great performance by both clubs here tonight, but particularly the late run by Morris Knolls.
Well, I guess what we didn't ask Coach Regan at the end, did the words field goal ever come into his mind? But at this point, I don't think he's thinking strategy. He's thinking the emotions of the moment. And I guess the answer was no. The answer was that, as we said in the booth, that they had the great tailback, the great running back, and they wanted to go to him, and that's what they did at the goal line. They won the ball game. I also think, though, from a strategic standpoint, they were the fresher team at the end, though, Steve. We said it. It was the West Essex defense that looked a little bit tired. I think this team was more pumped than they were.
Morris Knolls came up with a big touchdown run at the end, 24 seconds left. Chris Cervona with his second TD of the day. Morris Knolls have gone on to win the Section 2 Group 3 championship, 21-14 over West Essex. For Art Polakowski, for our director, Dave Stravick, and our entire crew here at Salmons Channel 3, I'm Steve Tober saying good night, everybody, from Giant Stadium in East Rutherford. The final score, once again, Morris Knolls 21, West Essex 14.